So very soon I'm going to have a brand new microphone to play with here when I'm out podcasting. I can't wait. But either which way, I'm enjoying myself with this microphone that I'm using right now and the temporary, where I'm adding phantom power, adding a little bit of extra richness and sound to my voice. Because the other microphone was fine, it worked, but I wanted to add something a little more punch. So here I am. I brought this microphone into the mix, and let's go ahead and go into it. Why more young guys are embracing the sugar daddy life. Men in their 20s and 30s have a stronger presence on platforms like Seeking Arrangement than you might expect. No, it's because what I think this Insight article is missing, and Ms. Kayla Kibb, I think what she's missing is the fact that most guys are just realizing that women are much more receptive and responsive when they think there's going to be money on the line. This is not saying it for all women. I'm just saying many girls in their teens and 20s are looking at that. Now, in the meantime, there are older guys, for the most part, on a seeking arrangement that are looking for younger women. That is the typical sugar daddy dynamic. But for guys that look for girls, they are also trying to go and look on those sites. And maybe they do have the kind of money to be a sugar daddy. Who knows? They could have the wherewithal to do that. So here's what Kayla writes. Whenever I encounter a man under 40 on seeking arrangement, my internal reaction is usually something to the effect of, go play, sweetie, the adults are talking. A stereotypical sugar daddy, as probably informed by certain infamous images of Anna Nicole Smith locking lips with a millionaire octogenarian, what was it, J. Howard Marshall, is that what his name was? Is invariably two rich things, rich and old. Even if we're willing to entertain a less cartoonish interpretation, most of us probably still imagine a sugar daddy as something more of a Mr. Big type, a middle-aged, power-lunching executive of some sort who wears suits and smokes the occasional cigar. What is this, J.R. Ewing from Dallas? Is that what we're going with there, Kayla? J.R. Ewing right here? Sounds like it, Bobby. Sorry, I one of these days I got to watch the old Dallas episodes and just go through the whole damn series. I'm going to do that one of these days. If Amazon didn't cost so much to go ahead and order it, damn it, should make it for free. They surely should. The reality of today's modern sugar dating landscape, however, paints a very different picture. Seeking Arrangement is home to sugar daddies of all incomes and ages, and as it happens, keep in mind if you're looking, guys, you young guys looking to go ahead and get a sugar daddy, Seeking Arrangement, sugar daddy profile, and you want to go ahead and buy it, Valentine's Day is usually one of the best days to get a discount. So keep an eye out for that. Point that on your calendar. Now, the average age of sugar daddies on the site is only 42. Meaning nearly half the daddies on the site have barely glimpsed middle age. Moreover, there are about 103,000 more 20-something daddies on the site than there are sugar daddies in their 40s. 103,000 more 20-somethings than there are those in their 40s. Daddies in their 30s are even more common, with 1.9 million 30-something sugar daddies on the site. Amazing. So what brings millions of men at the peak of their sexual prime to a platform presumably populated by aging geezers reduced to coughing up cash for a date? Listen to her with the alliteration. Good job, Kayla. So Sean, a 34-year-old art director who joined the site with the hope of skipping the pomp and circumstance and being upfront about what you want and don't want, he says, quote, I'd imagine some of the same things that bring older men. Despite the age gap, the younger and older daddies on the site may have more in common than one might assume. Kimberly De La Cruz, a spokesperson for Seeking Arrangement, said, quote, they all exactly want the same thing, and that is whatever they want. I think they're coming for the same reason everybody else is coming. Yeah, cutting through the bullshit. And it's a pay-to-play scheme. And they're not afraid to go and say that. Now, maybe Seeking Arrangement doesn't want to talk to people that way, but they pretty much are. As long as it's not some kind of a pure fledged prostitution kind of thing, right? I just think of a time where I used to listen to, but this is a Miami thing, okay? There was a guy that used to go and do impressions on the radio station Power 96 down here, when the station was really good, not like it is today. There was a guy that who would go by the name of Tyrone Steele. He was the guy that would always have on to do impersonations and commercials and all the real fun stuff. He was the real comic relief. And one of the things he used to do was this one news guy that was down here from WSVN Channel 7 named Rick Sanchez. And he used to have a thing where Rick Sanchez used to go ahead and use the word prostitution. The way he would say it was just so emphasized. Prostitution. Prostitution. So I just think about that. Prostitution, right? Yeah. That's going to be great in the captions for YouTube. Anyways, the reason, however, is widely misunderstood. Not unlike the harmful stereotypes that tend to surround men who pay for the services of sex workers. I get the way I say sex because of how I heard Howard Stern used to refer to the word as sex. Sex workers. The sugar dating space is often subject to similar misconceptions about those who pursue mutually beneficial arrangements. Friends with benefits. Fuck buddies. Yes. While those outside the sugar bowl tend to assume men become sugar daddies because dangling designer bags and rent money is the only way they can get a date. See, I wouldn't do it that way. The thing is, I'm not going to give out gifts. Again, and I wouldn't even try to do an allowance. I would make it where it is something for something. But most guys are not going to do that. They assume because the woman's being put on a pedestal for her beauty and for her outwardness or her output or her putting out, if you will. Maybe there's a thing where guys feel like they need to go and offer more and create the lifestyle to keep the girl around because there's a maintenance to the woman that she needs. But there are quite a few girls on the sugar daddy sites, I'll tell you for sure, they don't necessarily need that. You just want bills paid. So sometimes it's just a pay-for-play scheme that there is. Now, there are some women that are absolutely, they want to live the life. They want to be like the video vixen. They want to be like the, like real-life Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion type, right? Saweetie, something like that. Something out of Love and Hip Hop, honestly, right? It's kind of like that. For daters of all ages and genders, the non-traditional frame of sugar dating removes many of the expectations and social scripts to which conventional dating remains beholden, allowing parties on either side of the sugar dating dynamic to communicate their needs, wants, and boundaries more clearly. So again, she goes into friends with benefits. It's particularly handy for those who aren't interested in a romantic or monogamous relationship and don't have the time or energy to sift through hordes of hopeful monogamists on mainstream dating apps. And here's the thing too. I think it's come to the point where some women are kind of open to open relationships. Or if you are talking to other girls, just say you are. Again, you cannot make a woman just assume that, oh, you're the only person I'm talking about. Baby, you're the only girl I'm talking to. You're the only girl. No, you're full of shit. You're lying. Don't do that. Don't do that to the woman. Be honest, right? And if you want to have sex with a girl, if that's what your intention is, then go ahead and say it so that you can go ahead and say yes or no and move along. Don't waste people's time. And that's the whole point too, is that we don't want to waste people's time. We don't want to go through the rigmarole of saying, oh, we're going to be this and that. Because a woman is going to go ahead and throw the hoops at you, and she will do it as long as she has to. Put you through fiery hoops until she feels comfortable or until she feels like she's getting something out of what she wants from this. And maybe she wants to hold on to you for a little bit longer. I mean, you never know. Or maybe there's real, genuine interest, which would be great for both, right? They go through a couple different people that are asked about this, and one of the 20-somethings they talked to, Derek, he says the transparency he's seeking arrangement provides a unique opportunity to maintain some semblance of an active dating life while prioritizing his career or relationship, which is what I'm doing. Quote, it's a way for me to not have to invest tons of time I don't have in the Hinge and Tinder dates that don't work out, but satisfies needs I have. And don't think that women don't think this the other way around because of their career oriented, because I'm sure they probably do think the same way too. I wouldn't put it past people. And there's something where women and men are much different personalities online than they are, trying to be confrontational in person. You could just tell people just because they have the online dating thing going on, they don't want to go ahead and be confrontational in person unless they're in the environment or they are prepared for it. So just keep that in mind too. Some women are just being more adept to it. And I've seen for some of the sugar daddy sites, there's a lot of really young, sweet, beautiful girls there that might just be a little down on luck, or they just want a little bit of help because they're going to college. They're trying to make something of themselves. So they're looking to try to cut a break. And that's what they're doing. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Good luck, you sugar daddies. Keep doing your thing, you 20-somethings, and I'll talk to you next time.